New at 6 o'clock, an alleged sexual assault involving a Durham Gymnastics coach could be headed to trial.
This comes after a judge's decision allowed prosecutors to withdraw a plea deal offered to the former owner of the Bull City Gymnastics. WRAL's Joe Fisher reports on how the case has taken a step backward.
The gymnastics coach has already admitted to unwanted touching, but his attorney says it was never sexual in nature. Meanwhile, the accusers here say it was sexual, and they want the coach to have to register as a sex offender. Years of sexual abuse is what four young girls say they endured at Bull City Gymnastics at the hands of their coach, Stephen Maness. The 41-year-old appeared in court last month. His defense was fighting to keep a plea deal on the table that would have reduced the felonies to misdemeanor assault and abuse charges and kept him out of jail. But prosecutors were seeking to withdraw the offer altogether because it did not require Maness to register as a sex offender.
Just simply being banned from USA Gymnastics is not enough protection because there's other ways to coach. There's other ways to have access to children.
Tiffany Hambright's daughter is one of the accusers. She disputes the defense's claim that the touching was not sexual.
You and the other families are convinced that this was sexual in nature.
Absolutely.
Maness's attorney, Melissa Owen, asked the judge to enforce the initial plea deal. We spoke to her outside of court last month.
My client has held up every single aspect that he agreed to hold up, and then they're trying to change the game after the fact.
Her request has now been denied. Superior Court Judge John Dunlow writing, quote, because the parties' proposed plea arrangement required approval by the trial court, the state is allowed to rescind the offer because it was never approved by a trial judge.
We're hoping for a resolution soon.
The case could go to trial, or Maness could accept a new deal requiring him to register as a sex offender.
If he accepts this plea, we will still accomplish our goals, which were to protect anybody else from this happening anymore, to let our girls know we believe them. What he did was wrong.
And prosecutors say even more potential victims have come forward, although no new charges have been filed. Meanwhile, Stephen Maness will be back in court sometime next month. I'm Joe Fisher, WRAL News.
We have been following this story since Stephen Maness was arrested nearly 2 years ago. You can find all of our past coverage on WRAL.com.